Welcome to my channel. This is a reading for February 2020 for Scorpio. Just wanted to give you a little rundown of the layout. I do have the back cards. This is a career and finance reading, I should quickly mention, and this will be again for Scorpio for the month of February 2020. The back cards that I have here, these are all relating to just general energy, so not specific to career and finance, just general reading, general energy reading cards for February, as well as the one below here. Don't know if you can see that, but it's the number 22 and it's yin yang. So again, these are just the general energy cards for the month of February 2020, and that's for Scorpio. I am using four different decks, Rider White. I also have the Archangel Power, Energy Oracle cards, and Life Purpose cards Life Purpose cards are just along the side here. So just for those who are curious about where they're headed in terms of a career goal, I've just pulled 3 cards just generally for those interested in that. And then, as I say, just the general card here at the bottom, the Yin Yang 22, just an overall general card. So starting with career and finance, Scorpio, February 2020. Actually, before I get into that, I'll actually start with the cards at the back here, just because I tend to forget these. So number 8, the number 8 is positive movement forward. So that card actually speaks to, you just are a true artisan. You're somebody who has crafts and skills and knowledge and gifts and talents to use, and to use positively out in the world. The 8s actually speak to prosperity ahead and abundance. So this is definitely a positive card for the month of February. The number 2 speaks to balance. Number 8s are also, I just wanted to throw this in there, but number 8s generally also speak to overcoming obstacles and hurdles and going off on a positive path. So again, that's just positive movement forward all around with that card. Number 2 is intuition. So intuition speaks to finding that balance, which again goes with the yin yang card, the number 22 here toward the bottom. So there's a lot of parallels I see here with the reading. So number 8, again, with the positive movement forward, that can also speak to some kind of apprenticeship ahead. So I don't know if you're thinking of moving in that direction. I mean, I guess as the cards play out, we'll see where things are headed. And then with the 2, using your intuition, and that again is about finding balance. So finding the balance between the spirit world and the physical world, physical reality. Definitely using your intuition in the physical world means still having to put in the effort to make things manifest in a practical way, as we are a physical body. So we're not just a spirit entity, coming through a physical body. So you really do have to make the 2 work in tandem to have things manifest. So again, that just speaks to, language of the soul is your intuition. It's synchronicities and coincidences, things that are lining up. Things are starting to manifest with that card. And I also see with the Magician card below, there's also the card of manifestation. So it looks like you are working on something, trying to make something happen in the month of February, if not throughout, but starting at least in the month of February to take shape anyway. So, synchronicities again speak to things that relate to, repeatedly seeing numbers or names or things that are continually coming up for you. It's just a signal for you to pause and start to pay attention, just to go inward for some of your responses or your solutions before you just react. But that'll help you just to line up some of the timing. So the other cards following that are from the Archangel Power deck, and that would be we've got 2 10s, the 10 of Ariel and the 10 of Raphael. 10s are all about beginnings and endings. So some kind of cycle has begun because another one has ended. So it sounds like there was something that was being let go of. And I suspect it was because those 2 cards are relating to family and relationships. There's a good chance that it relates to energy of around those areas where some cycle has come to a close and you're starting fresh with some other intention, but it looks to be positive because the 10 of Ariel says there is so very much to be grateful for in terms of financial success, and that promise of retirement. A rich and rewarding family life is ahead. So it speaks to the richness of living, and just because you've been diligent in who you are and being true to yourself, you are able to bring about blessings in your life. So whether it's a family, a familial type of family around you that is, by blood, or if it's a chosen family, a group of people that you just feel really strong bonds and connection and love and support from. But either way, those are very strong for you in the month of February. And you understand what really matters in the month of February as far as your connection to these people. So again, it's about community and long-term investments of your time and energy and rewarding relationships with the Ten of Ariel. And the Ten of Raphael, again, speaks to the same. So again, lots of emphasis around relationships during the month of February. Love and the blessings and the things that fill up your life, and about, keeping those people close to you. And that happily ever after sort of feeling is what goes with both of those cards. So again, there's love and blessings is what both of those cards speak to. And again, focus on relationships. It even speaks to romantic relationships. So something about an ending of stress and that lack of distrust. And things are starting to turn around in that department so that things are moving in a more favorable direction. So again, looking at the following cards, like the Seven of Gabriel following that, the Seven of Gabriel is standing up for what you believe in, and it's about having the confidence to claim that personal power, stand in your integrity, that kind of thing. So you may need to say no to some people just so that you actually do, stand clear of energies that don't serve you, things that aren't in your best interest. But you want to ask yourself, if whatever the challenge is in a relationship or otherwise, if that is something that is before you because you're having difficulty with those people, or if it's actually some kind of internal conflict. So, it's not to say that there's a real problem here. It's just that if there is some kind of a conflict, it is asking you to take a look at whether or not that challenge is those around you, or if it's actually some kind of internal conflict that you're dealing with. So anyway, those kinds of things are manifested to help you to grow past and to learn from, so that you're stronger. And then you take that knowledge with you into, to sharing with the world, or to continue on down your path so that you have more information to put out to the world. So basically you're just being an advocate and staying determined. So following that, there is the cards below. Oh, I should maybe just mention as well, these are just sort of I don't know if you can see them, but the cards that were purpose cards are children, artist, try to shift this, children, artist, as well as the writer's card. So again, those cards are just for those that are interested in, what direction they might choose to go off into up ahead. So with children, you might have a positive impact on young people in teaching and healing them with those skills and talents that were spoke of about with the positive movement forward cards, crafts and skills and the knowledge and the gifts that you possess. And as far as the artist card below that, it speaks to you using your inner world, which is actually quite colorful, and to bring that artistry into your career, either with just the expression in painting or jewelry, or taking some kind of an art course or jewelry course or sketching, because it will have some kind of a positive effect in your life, whether you choose to do it as a career or just as some kind of a hobby. It's some kind of fulfilling, healing type of activity for yourself. But writing as well is another card below, which indicates that, sorry, I'll just try to shift that inward. But the writing card is something that also speaks to a healing, inspiring, teaching, type of vocation where you're able to, entertain others with the words that you write. So, and also just on a side note, just to let go of perfection and just to get it out there, because a lot of times we hold ourselves back trying to isolate the exact words or the exact story that we feel needs to be told, and in fact sometimes the story unravels and ends up on a completely different page. So anyway, just to start with the reading, So starting with the Ten of Pentacles, this is actually career and finance for Scorpio. And the Ten of Pentacles is all about money. So that is where we're starting from. This is the direction of, where you're, either what you're reflecting on, what you're looking at. It's your present position. So, I mean, this is something where, again, the Ten of Pentacles represents money, but it also can represent that happy family life. So it's either you're looking for that kind of financial security, or either in a family unit or financially. But it's definitely speaking to trying to manifest what you want, because it is followed by the Magician card. And the Magician card is about trying to manifest this happy life, this secure material, secure, even some kind of a happy, just a happy time. You're just trying to secure something ahead that's going to either leave a legacy for yourself, but either way, it's about that good life, that family life. You're trying to make some kind of peace or happiness come about through that Magician card, which is the manifestation. So again, with those two cards, it's really powerful, but again, doesn't necessarily speak to money necessarily, even though it is a career and finance reading. But there is definitely aspects of money here, because there is the Nine of Pentacles below, which is standing out as an independence card. We also have the Nine of Cups, which is a dream wish fulfillment card, that kind of thing. So there's some wand energy here as well, which is about ambition and motivation. So, but for the time being, I'm just going to stay with the relationship aspect of things, because there is such a strong element of that as an overall energy from the very back cards here, which speak to building relationships as something that I feel you strongly are directing yourself toward. As much as finances are important, it seems like the relationship bonds are really significant here. And again, it could be relationships with family or with friends or with partners. So again, with the Magician card, it's the power to make something happen, and that was your manifestation card here. It's the power to make something happen. It's the ability to create your own destiny. You're using your intuition to get there. You're using your talents and your skills and your tools, the things that are at your disposal to accomplish what you want. But it does speak to unlimited potential. So you do actually have quite a few gifts here, coupled with the Ten of Pentacles, that you are able to make this happen. You're not dealing with a beginner's mind. It's nothing that is a new start for you. You actually have quite a few tools and crafts to begin with. And it could even speak to things along the lines of, as far as careers, anything with advertising or fiber optics or communication, public speaking, anything along that line are all represented with this card. So that's also followed by the Eight of Swords. And again, eights are about overcoming obstacles and hurdles. So, it does indicate that there is something that you are finding challenging there. Otherwise, it wouldn't appear. But Eight of Swords is, again, that you are able to overcome it. The fact that she's wearing a blindfold speaks to a loosely bound restriction. Even with the way that she's tied, it's not a very tight restriction. So this is really about you feeling vulnerable, or in some way that you're not enough, or that there's some kind of self-sabotage going on there, or you have some kind of restriction. It could be sickness or injury or something that you're allowing yourself to focus on, but it's really just self-imposed. So it's, you can be closing your mind. You can have just illusions around the idea that you maybe can't have what's back here, but you are actually able to manifest it, because I do see you starting with that. So again, it just feels like you might be self-sabotaging a little bit, and you just need to focus and find clarity. So following that, because it is an obstacle you're overcoming with an 8. So following that is the Queen of Wands. And this is somebody who is in her authority. This is an authoritative position. This is somebody who, again, who's not new. This is somebody who's pretty self-assured, and she has the ability to express herself. She's optimistic. She's magnetic. She's somebody who's charismatic and easygoing and friendly and fairly accomplished and knows where she's headed. So this is somebody who could even speak to a career as an entrepreneur or a publicist, or someone who is in the self-help business, or even an author. So maybe there's a book ahead here. I don't actually see the Two of Pentacles, which usually, is indicative of that, but definitely there is some writing influence that keeps coming through here. So maybe there is some kind of workshop or self-help author book that is in the works. But again, this is somebody who's a positive, uplifting energy here with the Queen of Wands. And again, somebody who's pretty hardworking and, usually achieves a fair amount of success, a really career-oriented person. So somebody who's pretty determined all around. So this is an energy that I feel is around you. It could be yourself, but it could be just an energy that's around you. There's also the Knight of Cups. Cup speaks to emotions. Knights generally indicate news coming in and a direction. So again, this could indicate a time frame of around autumn or fall. So maybe something that you're trying to manifest will erupt around that time, but it also speaks to somebody who has, protective quality, somebody who is Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio energy. This is somebody who's usually a little bit younger, could fall in around the age of 20, 30s, that kind of range. But they are either you're inspired or they're inspiring you, but it's some kind of a role of a messenger that's coming through because of the direction that he's facing. And again, you have another 8 here. Or actually, that is the 6. You have, the 6 of Swords, but that still means getting past something. So, but again, the message is coming through there that you are getting past that. But again, it could speak to an energy of a person as well, somebody who's a little bit insecure, lacks confidence, very imaginative. In terms of money, it does mean that there's some new offers on the horizon that are coming up for February, probably in that first couple of weeks there. But again, it's bringing good news. And again, because it is followed by the 6 of Swords, swords are usually things that relate to the mind, and certainly it's you getting over troubled waters and moving into a calmer place. You're feeling more positive. It is a transitional period here with that 6 of Swords, and it's just about releasing baggage. You could be moving house, changing jobs, just leaving, things behind that don't serve you anymore, but you are getting over difficulties all around. So it is sometimes just that voyage of starting fresh and renewing. So following that is, this is probably about the middle to end of February, which is the Temperance card. Temperance is all about patience and just waiting for things to line up. So, I mean, the universe, it's also a divine card coming through, meaning that you're getting some guidance there. So it is also, it's that combination of forces that are helping to line things up in a synchronistic way to bring about the 9 of Pentacles, meaning some kind of sense of independence there. So something is coming through to help stabilize you. It is a healing energy with the Temperance card, and again, one of patience and harmony and understanding, and of compromise. So maybe something in relation to relationships has to be balanced in some way. But it is something that talks about self-control and, virtue and sort of the blending of ideas and cooperation overall. So it is a card of, kind of a higher calling, and again, a healing energy. But most of all, there is successful synchronicities that are starting to move you ahead. And definitely this is followed by the 9 of Pentacles, which is an overall positive card. Pentacles usually rooted in things that deal with material goods, but it is ultimately about a card of success. There could be money coming through actually in this month as well, because it does speak to, you trying to manifest it at the beginning here, but with the 9 of Pentacles, there's something that's coming through toward the end that does speak to a mission accomplished. So some kind of self-reliance, being resourceful, you're in control of the situation, whatever it is on a financial level. There's an inner sense of security and self-discipline with that card. It can't even be that you're getting recognition for your contributions on some level. So either way, very positive coming in. This card here actually speaks to, it is a win, but it is a card that indicates it's a hard win. So it's not, the 5 of Swords is really, there's some kind of limitation around this 9 of Pentacles. it's a win, but again, there's something that goes with it that is limiting the feeling that um, of that overall abundance. So not sure what it is, but it could be maybe there's hostility around it on some level. Maybe there's a conflict that's related at work or something that's a little underhanded, but you need to you may need to sacrifice something for it, for the finances to improve. But it could even just be something as simple as just having really low self-esteem, or dealing with some conflict, or some kind of a betrayal or whatever, or loss of some sort there, that that you just weren't ready for, that was a little unexpected. But either way, it's about learning to accept others and to have boundaries and limitations on some things. But it's a win, but it's a win with some kind of limitation. So it can also speak to, abusive power game type relationships. So maybe you're conquering your fears and you're having to accept somebody for who they are, and that's the limitations around it. But it is followed by the Seven of Wands, and again, as much as Seven of Wands is still a very good card, I mean, it does speak to, you kind of pulling back, doing some soul searching, and it is a bit of a solitary card, but it does also indicate that there is some kind of, the Seven of Wands is really a card of standing up for yourself, which is already indicated with the overall energies at the back of the reading there. So again, Seven of Wands is really a card of you standing in your power, being a little defensive, but standing up for yourself. You've got some doubts, maybe some vulnerabilities that are coming to the surface, and you're asserting your needs, your rights. You're having the courage to face criticism, and you're meeting that resistance that somehow you're feeling threatened by. But overall, it's still, in terms of money, it would still mean that there is some money that's still coming forward as well. But it is about that sense of purpose and gaining an advantage. Again, it looks like this is toward the middle end, actually more toward the end of February, because, and again, it's a whole little section here as well, because you also have the Three of Swords. So lots of intensity just in this one little area, that you're having to face. But I mean, like anything, it does look like everything is clearing up, but you are having to be introspective to get over it. So again, this can speak to jealousy, the Three of Swords. So maybe there's some hurt words or things that are being said, where you're discovering some kind of painful truth, or you're feeling let down or wounded. There's some kind of conflict that's set you off where you're not feeling balanced. And again, it could be just angry words and some kind of, sacrifice or ending to a relationship, or something you've had to let go or accept, that it's got a limited, connection to you. But something that either way, it's not really a negative card, but it's not really a positive card either. It's you're having to accept somebody's rejection of you on a certain level, but it is a breakdown of alliances here. So again, it does involve some energy of a person who's quite emotional, with the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is really somebody who is, quite a giving person, somebody who's really sensitive, someone who's very genuine, somebody who's patient and calm and emotionally understanding. She has a greater sense of awareness, could be a male energy as well, but it's just somebody who can be too emotional and in their head. But again, it also speaks to having very accurate psychic abilities as well. So because there's a few cards that are, that point to that as well, you just want to be aware that you are doing a lot of that here as well, even with the Hanged Man, which speaks to changing your perspective. But back up to the next card here, which is the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands, again, speaks to energy, high energy, ambition, motivation, and creativity. So, I mean, this card here, again, speaks to those new beginnings. So there's something that you're acting on with passion, that is, you're coming up to some kind of solution on something where you have belief in your abilities again, and you're coming up with a solution, you're acting on your inspiration. This is about originality and a creative idea, and having the action and the energy put together to bring it to fruition. So it's a new project, it's that urge to create, it is about action. So you're trying to bring something into reality with this card, and you feel that you figured out the right way forward. So even in terms of money, it still speaks to improvement in that position. So it could be even an unexpected gift coming your way, especially because it is followed by the Three of Cups. And again, that's about celebration, teamwork. That is about, people working together. And it is about enjoying the fruits of your labors, and you're definitely well supported. So it is about that abundance. It could be a reunion of some sort, someone from the past coming back in. It does speak to your ability to focus on self-improvement as well, but it also speaks to being a little oversensitive, but for sure, because it is cups, but it's definitely, even in terms of money, it's about good fortune and that recognition. So it does speak, the recognition card has come through a couple of times here, so I do feel that there is some energy around you being recognized for some ability, some skill, something you're putting forward. Again, with the Hanged Man, this is a card about you pulling back again, and you're doing some soul searching. So it's about changing your perspective. And so I suspect that the reason why this new project and everything else has come about is because you have changed your perspective and you have sacrificed. You are giving up something, whether it's relinquishing control, either way, it's you surrendering to something, and you're letting go of the emotional baggage, because there was a period of a crossroads. And that's what I see was all in this area here, which brought about this manifestation of happy cooperation and good alliances, that kind of thing. But there was a period of suffering, and that change of perspective has brought about that. And it was just about accepting the loss. But again, I mean, it's all about you kind of holding yourself back. So sometimes the win is not meant to be a full win. Sometimes it's just about accepting the situation, and realizing that there's some gain for both of you. This is the next card following the Hanged Man. It could even relate to a man of sorts, but this is, again, somebody of this energy. It doesn't have to be a man, could be a female as well. But the King of Cups really speaks to somebody who's in control of things. So this is somebody who is wise, and father figure represents somebody who's trustworthy and dependable. Again, could speak to your energy or someone else, but usually it's a father figure, somebody who's trustworthy, who's has really good guidance, and very calm, diplomatic, that kind of thing, and provides a lot of wisdom. So it is somebody who is a master of compassion, so somebody who is very diplomatic, and just overall is able to keep their head in a crisis, that kind of thing. So maybe with the crisis situation, perhaps there was an energy of someone, a male energy here, that helped to get you through, whether it's a friend or a father figure, or somebody who represents a father figure but who's still a friend. Either way, you have started out with, or you have followed that with the Fool's Journey, and the Fool's Journey is really just about opening up. So you are starting back to a place of innocence and just keeping an open mind, and you're able to go forward with your project, and you're feeling really positive and happy, and eternally just feeling more optimistic overall with this card. And that is what the Knight of Swords is also bringing about. It's just the Knight of Swords is indicating it's a fast moving energy to this door opening with the Fool and that new beginning, and one of excitement and courage and revealing potential, because it is clarified. These two are clarifiers for the Fool. So again, the Knight of Swords really speaks to somebody who is an energy, or it can speak to a person, but I feel in this case it really is indicating that it is an energy of somebody who is just taking action. So I feel that it is you taking action, which is bringing about the Nine of Cups. And again, that is speaking to wish fulfillment. So you're feeling assured, and you're bringing about your Nine of Cups. And again, the Cups indicates that you are able to manifest something that you wanted. And again, because so much of the reading is based around relationships, I suspect that's what this is geared toward in this particular case. Although there is definitely money coming through in recognition. But overall, it's more about you, finding some kind of a victory, some kind of emotional satisfaction overall, because cups are about emotional satisfaction, and that's really the end of the reading there. So again, money is still coming through. but more about recognition and definitely about some kind of reconciliation, and that you're finding, you know, satisfaction and blessings and pleasure, things that are coming through for you on an emotional level, that you've wanted. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight for the month of February 2020 career and finance reading. And again, that was for Scorpio, and hope to see you in March. And again, just a quick side note, not all of the readings resonate for everybody. Please don't try to force a fit. If it does speak to your situation, certainly take what you can from it and build on that. But otherwise, you know, there are other people that may have a clearer picture of your situation for that month. So again, just a general reading, and hopefully it resonates for you, and it does provide some insight. Thanks very much, and we'll see you in March.